try to tickle yourself. Run your fingers along your own ribs, or the soles of your feet, or under your arms. Chances are you feel almost nothing. But let someone else reach for those same spots, and you might start squirming before their fingers even land. The fingers are the same, the spots are the same, the pressure is the same. So why does one version leave you gasping for breath, while the other does nothing at all? It's a surprisingly old puzzle. More than 2,000 years ago, Aristotle wondered the very same thing. And the answer, it turns out, has little to do with your skin, and almost everything to do with a prediction your brain makes a fraction of a second before you touch yourself.
To see how, it helps to know that there are actually two different kinds of tickle. The first is that light, feathery, skin-crawling sensation, the kind you'd feel from an insect wandering across your arm. Scientists call it nysmesis. The second is the intense, breathless, can't-take-it-anymore kind, known as gargalesis, and this one almost always requires another person. It's that second tickle that holds the mystery. To solve it, we can follow a single movement as it travels through your brain.
The moment you decide to move your hand toward your ribs, your brain sends a motor command telling your muscles what to do. But at the same instant, it does something clever. It makes a second, identical copy of that command and sends it elsewhere. Neuroscientists call this the efference copy. In effect, an internal memo that says, "Heads up, I'm about to do this." That memo travels to a region at the back of your brain called the cerebellum, which in this moment acts like a kind of fortune teller. Using the copy, it predicts exactly what your hand is about to feel. The timing, the location, the pressure, before your fingers ever make contact. When the real touch arrives, your brain compares it against that prediction, and the two match precisely. So your brain does something remarkable. It turns the sensation down. The region that processes touch, the somatosensory cortex, barely responds because the feeling carried no new information. You already knew it was coming. A stranger's fingers, though, come with no such memo. Their timing, their path, their pressure, all unpredictable. Nothing gets canceled, the full sensation lands, and you can't help but react.
But how do scientists know this is really about prediction and not simply about being in control of your own hand?
In 1998, a team of neuroscientists in London designed a clever machine to find out. A person moved a lever with one hand, and that lever guided a soft piece of foam across the palm of their other hand. Same person, same movement, same touch. Self-produced, and as expected, it barely tickled. Then the researchers added one small twist, a delay. They inserted a brief gap between the person's movement and the touch that followed, no more than a fraction of a second. And as that delay grew, from 0 up to about 0.2 of a second, the very same self-produced touch began to feel more and more ticklish. In a related version, they gradually rotated the direction of the touch away from the movement that caused it and found the same thing. The further the touch drifted from the brain's prediction, the more ticklish it became, even though the person was still doing it entirely to themselves. This was the decisive evidence. It isn't control that cancels the tickle, it's an accurate prediction. Disrupt the prediction, and you can very nearly tickle yourself.
But why would the brain evolve to erase sensations you cause yourself? Because your body is in near constant contact with things, and most of that contact comes from you. Your clothes shifting against your skin, your arm brushing a table, your own footsteps. If your brain responded to every one of these with equal intensity, you'd be drowning in unimportant signals. So instead, it quietly cancels the predictable sensations you cause yourself and clears the stage for the ones that might matter more. Those are the touches you didn't cause and couldn't predict. A spider on the back of your neck, a hand you never saw coming. Ticklishness, in a sense, is your brain flagging a single urgent message. This one wasn't me.
And this prediction system is at work constantly, far beyond the realm of tickling. It's part of why you don't notice your own tongue resting in your mouth, why your recorded voice sounds oddly unfamiliar, and why you can walk down the street without consciously feeling every footstep. It may also explain what happens when the machinery breaks down. Research suggests that in some people experiencing certain symptoms of schizophrenia, this self-monitoring falters, and the brain has more trouble recognizing its own actions as its own. Remarkably, some of these individuals don't tune out self-produced touch the way most people do, and can experience their own touch as ticklish. When the brain can no longer reliably predict its own actions, the line between me and not me becomes harder to draw. Which brings us to one last question, one that scientists still can't answer. We understand in some detail how the brain cancels the sensation of self-touch, but why we're ticklish in the first place, why that particular kind of touch erupts into helpless laughter, and why evolution wired the response into us at all, remains genuinely unresolved. So the next time someone's fingers find your ribs and you dissolve into laughter you can't control, remember that you aren't only being tickled, you're brushing up against one of the oldest unanswered questions about your own mind.